longtime spiritual advisor. When it became clear he was losing the 2020 election, she didn't call campaign lawyers, she called angels. "Angels are being released right now," she cried in a live-streamed sermon. "Angels are being dispatched right now." In Trump's America, faith and politics are no longer parallel forces, they are fused. His allies have treated the machinery of government as a pulpit. Former Pam Bondi chairs a federal task force to eradicate anti-Christian bias in a nation where 87% of Congress already identifies as Christian. In Texas, Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick leads efforts to install the Ten Commandments in public classrooms, calling it restoring God's order. And inside the Pentagon, the line has blurred even further. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth recently invited a self-described Christian nationalist preacher to lead an official prayer service, a man who once wrote that slavery promoted affection between the races and who still preaches that women should never have been given the right to vote. This isn't Christianity as a personal faith, it's Christianity recast as a political weapon, the belief that America was founded as a Christian nation and must be ruled as one. A new PRRI poll found that nearly 1 in 3 Americans now sympathize with that idea. Among Republicans, it's more than half. The founders saw this danger coming. In 1802, Thomas Jefferson wrote of a wall of separation between church and state. That wall wasn't meant to keep faith out of government. It was built to keep government from deciding whose faith would rule. To understand what's happening now, MSNBC host Ari Melber turned to Brad Onishi, co-host of Straight White American Jesus and author of American Caesar, How Theocrats and Tech Lords Are Turning America into a Monarchy. When a president says he wants to bring back religion, we have to ask whose religion, Onishi said. And in this case, it's one specific Christianity, one that thrives under authoritarianism. Data backs him up. Christian nationalist believers are statistically the most likely to support authoritarian government, to reject democracy as the problem, and to believe in the white replacement myth. They see immigration raids and mass deportations not as moral crises, but revival, cleansing the nation of God's supposed enemies. When Trump vows to tear down the wall between church and state, Onishi says, that is what they hear, not the gospel, but a call to power. And it's a power that comes with rules for everyone else. In the America envisioned by figures like Doug Wilson, the pastor who was welcomed into the Pentagon, non-Christians could exist only in silence. Muslims, Jews, Hindus, atheists, they could pray at home but never in public. No mosques, no temples, no synagogues. Public space, he preaches, will belong to King Jesus. Those who refuse to submit, he argues, should be barred from public office. Under that doctrine, millions of Americans, including public servants, teachers, and soldiers, would become second-class citizens overnight. For years, Onishi warned that this ideology was preparing for confrontation. January 6th United States Capitol attack, he says, was not an accident, but the inevitable outcome of a movement that views democracy as heresy. Now, with Trump back at the center of power, that movement is no longer waiting for permission. It is embedding itself inside the state. You can see it in the schools, where legislatures in Texas and Louisiana push Ten Commandments bills. You can see it in local zoning fights, where Muslim communities are blocked from building mosques, and Hindu temples face endless safety reviews. And you can see it in federal agencies, where faith is being recast as ideology. But perhaps nowhere is it more visible than in immigration policy. In cities like Minneapolis, Chicago, and Los Angeles, ICE raids have become ritual theater, men in tactical gear breaking doors before dawn, children wrapped in blankets as neighbors watch. To ordinary Americans, these scenes are horrifying.